One of the things I love about working in a bookstore is the opportunity to browse through books I have no intention of owning. Browsing can be full of serendipity, little unexpected pleasures, surprising insights, and quirky little facts. Lately, I've been reading a lot of books about Oregon history, so out of habit, I keep my eyes peeled for old books about Oregon. Even I was surprised, however, to find a new perspective on Oregon when I was pricing an old German school atlas. England and the United States disagreed for half a century over the claim to the Oregon Territory. During the last 30 of those years, they had a formal agree to disagree treaty, under which neither made a claim. This treaty lasted until 1846, when the boundaries were finally established. Before then, however, England wanted the entire coast, from Russia, which is modern Alaska, down to at least the Columbia River. The United States, however, felt that it had a claim all the way from Mexico, which was modern California, to Russia. And James Polk was elected president under his famous 54-40 or fight campaign, which promised war with England if the United States did not get Oregon. Okay, back to the book. It was published in 1838, that's 6 years before the boundaries between the two countries were firmly agreed upon, and also a few years before the first waves of immigrants started traveling the legendary Oregon Trail. The only Americans in the area at the time then were a few Protestant missionaries, some fur trappers, and a few traders. So let's get a closer look at this map. Looking at the map, we immediately notice that the United States territory extends all the way to the Pacific. This isn't too surprising because the area between Mexico and the Columbia River, which ironically is the modern-day boundaries of Oregon, was not considered worth fighting for by either Mexico or England, and so was left to the U.S. pretty much uncontested. This map, however, shows the border between the U.S. and England is noticeably north of the Columbia. The border follows the Columbia all the way to its source deep in modern-day Canada, then comes back down toward the 49th parallel, which was already the established border east of the Rockies. The compromise for the Oregon Territory the British would be pushing for was a border along the Columbia River, with both countries sharing right of passage on the river. The map fascinates me for two reasons. First, it shows an alternate compromise that might have been reached. More importantly, though, it shows an outsider's viewpoint on the Oregon question. Surprisingly, it shows a strong leaning in America's favor. That's surprising because America's legal claim, in my opinion at least, was fairly weak. And also, except for a few visionaries and or crackpots, the United States as a whole had not yet gotten excited about taking a hardline stance. So what? Did Germany see the overland journey between the United States and Oregon as easily surmountable, a view not shared by many Americans who were against claiming Oregon? Does this map represent a proposal or a tentative agreement that I haven't run across yet? Or is it just an inconsequential decision made by the map maker? At this point, I can't give you the answer. Maybe I'll do some more research, maybe not. Sometimes for me, finding the questions is just as interesting as finding the answers. And that's the main reason I love browsing through a cluttered bookshelf.